Shalom, shalom. Call YAHAWASHI. 1 second. This is the book of Ezekiel, chapter 7 and verse 5. Thus saith the Lord Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHWASHI, and evil and only evil, behold, is come. And end is come, the end is come, it watcheth for thee, behold, it is come. And first and foremost, we give all praise to the Most High, call HALAL, Yahawah, BAHASHAM, YAHWASHI, BAHASHAM, QADASH. That's giving all praise to the Most High. In the name of His only begotten Son, in the name of the Holy Spirit, double honors to our teachers, the elders, and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us His truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to those for like scattered abroad. Shalom to the 144,000. Shabbat Shalom. All right. We're going to go into this clip right here, or this video right here, which I'm a little late on it, you know, but I couldn't let this slide, man. All right. Because what you seeing amongst these Babylonians is pandemonium and panic, which will ensue into chaos and violence, all right? And this is the channel Redacted, all right? Which these are heathens, I do believe, all right? But look how mad they look, especially her. Look how mad, that's how they open the video. Look how mad she looking, all right? In these last days, what we're about to see is we're about to see the clash of Eve and the serpent, okay? Going back to that deal that was made in the garden, as Esau is cutting all these benefits and all these dainties that he gave her, you know, they're going to lash out and, you know, be the first ones, you know, going crazy. They're the ones talking about they're going to go stealing and all this crazy stuff. So we in some interesting times for you believers, man. You know, you Akim and you Akwath that believe in this truth. As we've been telling you, the prophets, starting with our head elders and apostles of Great Millstone, been telling you the times that we're seeing playing out on the earth was coming. All right, and it's going to be race wars, class wars, food wars. Okay, all kind of wars, World War III, all these, we are on the cusp of all these things. And in these times, it's best that we stay spiritual. It's best that we, you know, stay circumspect, you know, and don't be simple, because in these last days, bro, people going to start really crashing out, all right? And in this video, you know, I've been watching Redacted for a few years now, and I've never seen them this mad, okay? Out of all the things they report, I've never seen them this mad. But they're mad because they're afraid. All right, they are afraid of what's to come for them. And we know through the Spirit, the Lord is going to be with us, man. All right, so let me play some of this, all right? And I'm going to try not to stop it too much, but I want to, you know, I'm going to add some precepts and some commentary, all right? And pray it's edifying through the Spirit, man.
This is an emergency moment in the United States. Are we about to face a food stamp civil war in this country when Democrats and...
Now, they called it an emergency moment. It's an emergency moment, so... that shows you that they're afraid, all right? These Edomites are in fear, okay? He's calling this an emergency moment. That was just 7 seconds in, all right? Which 7 is completion, all right? So these heathen, they're feeling, you know, afraid. You know, they're feeling frightened. They seeing how things are finna go, which just remind me of another clip. And it's probably the same woman that said this. I'll probably put up a short about it, all right? But basically, Eve is crashing out and just in a complete embarrassment. Okay, but this is what you signed up for when you made a deal with the devil, all right? And now he's falling back on that deal. Let's bring it back again.
This is an emergency moment in the United States. Are we about to face a food stamp civil war in this country when Democrats and the deep state intentionally cut off food stamps and the EBT program for low-income Americans? They did so intentionally, of course, as part of the government shutdown. Why? Why would they do that? Well, because it's the perfect deep state catalyst to spark a revolution. Come this Saturday, SNAP recipients will not see their November benefits show up in their account that were due, that's of course due to the government shutdown. So those cards will not be filled with food stamp monies. Black women are taking to social media
Black women. Okay, hey, I thought this was hilarious, but here we are, the fourth day into November, and still no food stamps. They're talking about they're gonna give half or give some of the, they're gonna try to put some money through the cards, but you know, they said it's going to be a small amount, so that could be $10, man. All right, they're gonna give you in them cards, and people they're gonna say, hey, well, we gave you some money. You know, people gonna start spazzing out, lashing out, and acting crazy. Okay, Judah's gonna get roused up. All right, so these Edomites and these other nations, they are afraid. They're seeing this playing out, and they're afraid, man. But look at to what this demonic, which I believe this is a stud or a dyke or whatever you want to call it. Listen to what she said, or it said.
That's, of course, due to the government shutdown. So those cards will not be filled with food stamp monies. Black women are taking to social media, specifically black women, like TikTok, to say that they will rob and kill white people. In fact, one woman says she's going to eat white people tasting that delicious cracker if she doesn't get her food stamps. Watch.
I just wanted to come real fast just to make this video, just to make something very, very clear to the white man. Black Americans do not care about your government shutdown, and Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance, because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us, because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government, in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you, the delectable crackers and cheese.
Okay, I just want to say, I would like to let you know that Black people reduced their own poverty level by 80% before the Civil Rights Act was enacted by LBG, who was a racist. So Black people are more than capable of rising themselves out of poverty.
Now you see how mad they are? Look how mad they are. She immediately jumped in there and started giving false statistics, man. All right. First of all, you got redlining, you got Black Wall Street. There's many different ways where Esau has came in and stifled so-called Black Americans from doing anything in this country. All right. People always say how Black Americans are so lazy. I was just talking to somebody about this earlier. They say how Black Americans are so lazy, but yet all these other nations are coming to a country that we fucking built for free. Okay. Off of rape, robbery, and bloodshed. All right. The problem is Jake ain't finna work for free no more. All right. Jake ain't finna work for free. So now that this system is crashing and crumbling, okay, these Edomites and these other nations are starting to feel it. All right. Which Jake been in poverty. Jake been catching hell for the longest. Now it's your turn. But for whatever reason, that bulldagger said she was going to eat the cracker and cheese. Hey, they not playing. All right. These niggas is really going to crash out, and they're going to go to these rich Edomite neighborhoods. Okay, where you got the American flag waving in the front yard, okay, with the eagle on top of it, and they're gonna start coming, kicking in your doors, all right, and pretty much violating you, man. All right, this is the time we're coming into it, and the powers, this government and the elites that are in charge, they know this. They're expecting this. They're gonna go in them bunkers and watch people out here duke it out for the little bit of crumbs that's left. I got a video I'm gonna premiere later on tonight, going into how you got people standing outside these food banks in long lines for hours just to find out that all the food ran out. You know what's going to happen? Those civilized people waiting patiently in line are going to start getting violent. They're going to start bum rushing these food banks. This is why Trump is deploying these troops, because there is no food coming. They're shutting down the system, bro. They're not going to give you no food. All that's going to be a thing of the past. And they know this, okay? They know this. This is why Trump is putting all these troops in place, getting everything in order so they can bring in a civil unrest and then ensue martial law. All right, this is the time we're coming into, and we've been telling you about this for the longest, starting when I had elders and apostles of Great Millstone on down, so you can't say you ain't know. Let me bring this back real quick, though, and I'm gonna play that back, and we'll go further. But it says Ezekiel chapter 7, let's read it in the NLT. Ezekiel chapter 7 and verse 4, okay? Let's go to verse, I'm going to start at verse 1. It says, then this message came to me from the Lord, YAHWASHI. Son of man, this is what the sovereign Lord says to Israel. The end is here. Wherever you look, east, west, north, or south, your land is finished. You see? So we are at the end. Okay, the very end at this point. It says, no hope remains, for I will unleash my anger against you. I will call you to account for all your detestable sins. And this is what the Lord is doing. He's about to judge our people. 2/3 of our people who didn't want to get right, who didn't want to repent. You're right. You didn't. Hey, you was out here bulldagging, okay, dyking, and eating foods. That's over with. All right. And it's for all your detestable sins. Okay. It says, I will turn my. Well, it's another video I'm gonna put up as a short. Probably after this, it was another woman who appeared to be a dyke with a bunch of face tattoos saying the same thing. How they gonna kick in, these Edomites' doors and this and that and the third. And a southern Edomite lady came on afterward and said, listen, we got pews, okay? And they going, so it's going to be bloodshed, all right? This thing is going to get violent. And the scriptures warns of us of this time we're coming into. It says, I will turn my eyes away and show no pity. Yeah, the Lord ain't going to show no pity. This is the judgment of YAHWASHI. So when the famine kick in, when blood is being shed, when the famines and everything, all accumulate, the Lord is not showing no pity. This is what he's doing, okay? You think it's a white man. You think it's Trump. You think it's the Republicans. You think it's the Democrats. No, it's YAHWASHI. And we told you the Lord is a vengeful God, and he's about to bring judgment upon our people who do not want to repent. It says, I will repay you for all your detestable sins. Then you will know that I am the Lord. You're going to know who the true God of the Bible is, man. All right? And it's the power that we've been proclaiming in the earth for, decades, okay? The men of the Lord been out here telling you who the true God of the Bible was, and people been ignoring it. So now you're going to be put in a position where you're going to have to accept and bow down to the true God of the Bible. And the scripture says, they shall know it after death by pain. Let me grab that too. All right? Because what we've come to understand through the Spirit and submission to YAHWASHI, a lot of our people who didn't want to come to that understanding are going to come to that understanding after death by pain. Okay? Let's grab that too. But let me go back. It says, then you will know that I am the Lord YAHWASHI. So you're going to know who the true God of the Bible is, man. All right? Verse 5, here's the point. This is what the sovereign Lord says. Disaster after disaster is coming your way. You think the food stamps is the problem? Wait till you see what's next. It's only going to get worse. It's like a domino effect. One thing after another, after another, after another. And the next thing is going to be worse than the last thing. Okay? This right here shows you that the Lord is not playing any games. He's about to bring straight judgment upon our people. All right? We've been telling you this time was coming. It's been funny. It's been cute. And now it's coming to an end. It says, the end has come. It has finally arrived. You know how like they had that story of the boy who cried wolf. That's what the prophets have been like. The boys who cried wolf, and they said, oh, the wolf ain't coming. You've been saying that for years. You've been saying that for years. Well, guess what? Now the wolf is at the door. All right? Your final doom is awaiting. Okay? So your final doom is awaiting. O people of Israel, you so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians, the day of your destruction is dawning. The time has come. The day of trouble is near. Shouts of anguish will be heard on mountains, not shouts of joy. And this is the time we're coming into, man. You remember a few months ago, if not weeks ago, or weeks ago, if not a month ago, you had them people talking about the rapture. It was on the top of a mountain chanting and stuff. Okay. Atlanta is Atlantis. And you had people that was talking about the rapture. It was on top of the mountains. They said all these stuff talking about the rapture. No. Okay. If there's 7 years of tribulation, you're going to be in it. All right. That whole rapture doctrine is garbage. It's false doctrine. You're going to have to suffer. Okay. You're going to be in this destruction. And we're going to be going through it. Okay. With the Lord on our side. But ain't nobody just going to just get beamed up and you're going to escape this judgment, man. Okay. That's not how it works. We're going to have to go through this hell. Scripture says, through much tribulation shall we enter into the kingdom of heaven. Okay. Soon I will pour out my fury on you and unleash my anger against you. I will call you to account for all your detestable sins, right? And that's what the Lord is doing. Okay, he's getting ready to judge our people for all their wickedness and all their sins, man. All right, so you got niggas bugging out, talking about eating white people, eating the crackers and the cheese. And this is an exciting time for us because we told you this time was coming. Like I said in my last video, which I'm a premiere later, we ain't gonna have no remorse or no empathy for you people, man. All right, the time of mercy was when we was at our teaching. The Lord about to pull us off the streets. Our tongues are gonna cleave to the roof of our mouth. We're not gonna be preaching this gospel no more, and you people gonna have to just be in it, man. All right, the Lord gonna make known His words unto you. So let's play this again. I want to play a little. I'm gonna try to play as much through as possible, and we'll grab some more precepts.
Black Americans do not care about you taking away our EBT and our government assistance because Black Americans never depended on the American government to take care of us and feed us because we never could. We were never able to depend on the government in spite of what you may say and what you may try to force us to believe. So you can sit back and you can mock, you can laugh, and you can think that you're about to starve us to death. But I'm here to let you know that we are going to eat regardless, even if we have to hunt you animals down and roast and eat you, the delectable crackers and cheese.
Okay, I just want to say, I would like to let you know that Black people reduced their own poverty level by 80% before the Civil Rights Act was enacted by LBG, who was a racist. So Black people are more than capable of rising themselves out of poverty without any government assistance. She needs to read her Thomas Sowell. I just want.
Well, we did rise ourselves out of poverty without government assistance over 100 times. Okay, go look up Black Wall Street. Go look up Lake Lanier. Go look up all these old, former black towns, so-called black towns that were flooded or burnt or bombed because Esau was envious and jealous because they wasn't doing as good as we was after slavery. Okay, so there's a statistic for you. Go look up all those towns that got burnt down. Okay, go look that up. See, Edomites, they want to play stupid. They want to play dumb, like they don't know what's going on. No, you know what you did, and now this is the reckoning. Okay, this is the judgment from YAHAWASHI upon you too. You Edomites and you heathens, this is your judgment as well. It's gonna start with Jacob's trouble, but everybody gonna be in trouble. Okay, except the elect. Okay, the elect are gonna be shielded and guided through this chaos and destruction, but everybody else is about to be in a world of pain, a world of suffering. And now they're getting antsy, okay? So you're going to start seeing these nations. Look how mad you're looking. Why are they so mad? They're pissed off, all right? Because they're thinking about their children, their houses. They're thinking about, and these Edomites, they living good, man, all right? They've been living good. You go to some of these Edomite neighborhoods, if you ever had an Edomite friend, they live a completely different life than we live. All right, and they see that's coming to an end, so they're trying to find somebody to blame, and they're gonna blame it on Jake. All right, and rightfully so, because you niggas, when you start lashing out and going crazy, they gonna start lashing out and going crazy, and y'all all gonna go crazy together, and y'all all gonna destroy each other. Okay, like that movie, War of the Planet of the Apes. You had the apes that was in them, pretty much in like a concentration camp type of thing. And you had the humans come against other humans, and they came and killed each other, and the apes were able to escape in the midst of that chaos. And they were symbolizing the apes as Jake, So the Lord is going to make a way for us to escape, and that's going to be the remnant, okay, the elect of our people. But the rest of these niggas and these heathens are going to be eating each other alive, literally. It reminds me of that movie, the Batman movie, The Dark Knight, what the Joker said. He said, these civilized people, they're going to eat each other, okay? These civilized people are going to eat each other. He said, I'm just ahead of the curve, all right? We understand what's coming, all right? And we're ahead of the curve because we've already submitted and bowed down to YAHAWASHI and reverenced him in this time before the time, all right? But those of you that took it for a joke, thought it was a game, now it's time for your judgment. Now it's time for your destruction.
I'll let her know that. because it belies actual economics. So the idea that you have always been dependent is not true. I'm sorry you think so little of yourself.
Well, if killing and eating white people wasn't... Why does that keep doing that? I'm sorry.
I don't know.
What's happening with our... I don't know what happens back there. David, maybe you can take care of it.
What's that in the back? Look at the screen in the back. You know, by his shoulder. That's like a demon. All right. And look, they got something, you know, just playing in the background. Look like suggestions for YouTube, but that's spiritual, because see, behind Esau, you got demons that's ready to take you out now, man. It's your turn. It's your turn to fall. All right, and he knows it. Okay, look at this. The water, bro, from the brother Ephraimite 144. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7. Alas, for that day is great, so that none is like it. It is even the time of Jacob's trouble, but he shall be saved out of which is the elect. Okay, so Jacob is going to be in trouble. You so-called Negroes, Hispanics, Native Indians that didn't want to repent, great danger, great chaos, great anguish, great tribulation, great trouble is coming. All right, and these Edomites, in return, they're going to lash out, and it's going to be a complete bloodbath. All right, we understand what time we're coming into. It's going to be a complete bloodbath out here, man. All right, the Lord has given us the heads up of what's coming, and we've been preparing. Okay, while you've been, living in pleasure, you know, pretty much forsaking the Lord, you know, living in wickedness and sin, and not regarding the prophets or the word of the Lord, now it's time for your judgment, man. Okay? And them too.
Well, if killing and eating white people wasn't enough, black women, TikTokers are saying if food stamps are cut off, they're going to steal whatever food they want from people that are using their own money to buy food. Watch.
And people are going to start, I'm telling you, this is going to be a thing. People are going to start, instead of stealing groceries from the stores, they're going to start watching people go to their cars. And they're going to take all of their groceries. And you know what the store going to do? Not our problem. Not our business.
Okay, so you're encouraging people who buy groceries lawfully with their own money, who work hard and try to provide for their family, just go out.
You know, you see what he just did? Because I used that clip before. She wasn't encouraging anybody. She was telling you what was going to happen. All right? And that's how you know Esau is a damn demon, bro. Because all of a sudden, she's encouraging them now. She's saying, no. She's just telling you what's going to happen. All right? The other lady, she was telling you what she was going to do. But that lady, she was just saying what these stores are going to do. And he tried to flip it on, oh, now you're encouraging. No, she was just telling you what's going to happen. That's going to happen, too, because the scriptures talk about they shall spoil your houses, man. Okay, your wife shall be ravished. They about to, hey, when all hell does break loose, Jacob's going to start going into these Edomite neighborhoods, man. Okay, where you live in the luxury and you going to be in for a world of hurt, and them too. But this clash is a necessary means to an end of America, man. All right, let me read this real quick. Acts chapter 14, verse 22, confirming to the souls of the disciples and exhorting them to continue in the faith. This is what we're doing. We're exhorting you to continue in this faith. Continue to serve YAHAWASHI. Continue to pray. For you Akim out there, continue to do your videos. Continue to go out of camp until we can't do it no more. Okay, because the time is coming where we are going to be rewarded for all of our works and our labors. It says, and that we must through much tribulation and that we must through much tribulation enter into the kingdom of the Most High. So this ain't gonna be no walk in the park. We're gonna catch all kinds. We're gonna see you gonna see a dead body or two, man. Okay, when all hell break loose, it's gonna be much tribulation. In the NLT it says, where they strengthen the believers. That's what we do. Why we do these videos, to strengthen the believers. 2/3 ain't watching these videos, man. Okay, they watching music videos with about smoking weed and booty shaking. All right, so who's watching these videos? The believers. All right, it says where they strengthen the believers, they encourage them to continue in the faith, reminding them that we must suffer many hardships to enter into the kingdom of the Most High. And this is just the beginning, okay? The beginning of sorrows. There's going to be many hardships we're going to have to go through to get to the kingdom of heaven, man. All right? And the Lord, he's setting everything up. Over here it says, 2 Ezra chapter 9, verse, let's go to verse 5. It says, For like as all that is made in the world hath a beginning and an end, and the end is manifest. The end of America is being manifested before our eyes. We're seeing the fall of America right before our eyes. Okay, this whole thing with the government shutdown, we are already in the Great Reset. They just haven't fully flipped the switch yet. You know how you flip a switch and it takes, it's like it has to go all the way down or all the way up for it to flip. Well, we're like halfway in that flip. Okay, and then it goes up, and guess what? That's when they're going to change this whole system. The whole monetary system is going to change, and pretty much they're going to tell you if you want your food stamps back, you're going to have to take a karagma. All right? So we ain't seen nothing yet. It says, and that's going to cause even more protests and riots. Salakia. And that's why your boy Trump is putting all his troops in place. Okay, he's putting all his soldiers in place for that exact moment when people start rioting and acting crazy. It says, even so the times also of the highest have plain beginnings and wonder and powerful works and endings and effects and signs. And this is why the last Passover we had a blood moon. That was a sign of what's to come. Okay? How bloody it's going to get here in America. I remember walking outside in the middle of the night and seeing the moon, and it was blood. It was red. Okay, right after that Passover night. So that right there was a sign from YAHAWASHI that the Lord is about to do his thing, and it can very well kick off the end of this year, beginning of next year, and we might be out of here by the end of next year, man, because this thing is gonna move fast. All right, the amount of bloodshed and death and destruction we're about to see, we don't have much longer here, man. All right, so this ain't the time to get weak. This ain't the time to start, getting laxy-daisy. You gotta stay on your P's and Q's. Keep your head on a swivel. At any moment, something can pop off. It says, and everyone that shall be saved and shall be able to escape by his works and by faith, whereby ye have believed, shall be preserved from the said perils, which, hey, we're going to be preserved from the said perils, the destruction that's coming. And shall see my salvation in my land, which means what? To be delivered, and within my borders, for I have sanctified them for me from the beginning. So whoever the elect are, they were sanctified from the beginning. They're not going to be the ones on TikTok talking about eating the crackers and cheese. All right, they're going to be out preaching the gospel of YAHAWASHI. It says, then shall they be in pitiful case. Look at this. Then shall they be in pitiful case. You people about to be in a pitiful case. Which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torment. So if you cast away this truth, you mock the prophets. The scripture says how they misuse the prophets. You had this nigga Drewski doing skits, which we ain't mad at you. He. Laugh it up, because we're going to be laughing soon, man. At famine and destruction, we're going to be laughing, man. People getting their heads blown off, okay? People starving to death, begging for food. Please, just give me something, please. And Lord going to say, la, no. We're going to be eating while you people starving. Literally. Okay? Literally. YAHAWASHI is not playing. Like Friday. He said, you think he playing? You say you had a gun when you seen him, right? Yeah. Okay, name somebody else in the hood playing like that. The Lord ain't playing, man. Russia ain't playing. China ain't playing. North Korea ain't playing. They got nukes, right? You seen it was parading those nukes around, right? Yeah. Name somebody else who playing like that, man. This is why Trump talking about they're going to start, after so many years, they're going to start having their nuclear test again. Don't worry about it. They're not going to be able to even leave the silos. Lord says shall come as a thief in the night when you least expect it. So in the midst of all this death and destruction that's coming, a lot of our people are going to be stuck in it, looking confused, chewing on Edomites, okay, or whatever they're going to be doing, right? It says, then shall they be in the pitiful case which now have abused my ways, and they that have cast them away despitefully shall dwell in torments. For such as in their life have received benefits and have not known me. You see, you ain't have to acknowledge the prophets. You don't have to acknowledge YAHAWASHI, because you knew on the first of the month you was getting however many dollars, hundreds of dollars on your account so you can go buy food. So now that you about to go into starving, you freaking out. People losing it. Here we are 4 days in, and there's still no food stamps. Okay? People finna start getting vicious, okay? They're backing you into a corner, and Trump wants you to lash out. He wants you to act crazy. He wants you to bug out. Okay? It says, and they that have loathed my law while they had yet liberty, and when yet place of repentance was open unto them, understood not, but despised it. Here's the point. The same must know it after death by pain. So what we have come to understand and reverence, you're going to come to understand and reverence after death by pain. When you bleeding out, because you done got stabbed in the neck on aisle 3 for the last can of peas, or, you know, the last pack of water, you're going to be thinking about, that's what the prophets was talking about. This is what they was talking about. They told us it was coming. You never thought you would see this in America. You got people in food waiting in lines at food banks for miles, expecting to eat. The food gonna run out. Okay? They already done destroyed all your food distribution centers. Hey, the brother call in the camp, he was telling us how he works at a food distribution center, actually, where they ship out the food to these stores. And he said how they're cutting hours because these stores aren't buying. They're not ordering a lot of product because they know that people ain't gonna have the money to buy it, and they already talking about stealing it. So this is going to be, you know, here we are, what, 4 days in? Imagine a week or 2 weeks in, you know, with no end at sight. This is all according to their plan. This is going to be the longest shutdown ever. And you'll be lucky if the government ever does come back. And when it does, it's not going to be the same as it was. They keep saying that, okay? You got 4 loaded workers who've been working, government workers who've been working this whole time without pay. Now this man telling you that he ain't going to give you no back pay? That's wicked, okay? But he wants it to get wicked out here so he can get more wicked, all right? You play with the devil, now you about to get the horns. It says, the same must know it after death by pain, and therefore be thou not curious how the ungodly shall be punished, and when, but inquire how the righteous shall be saved, whose the world is and for whom the world is created. So we're not concerned with how you niggas about to get judged. We just know you're finna get judged. We're not finna sit up here and tell you, oh, this gonna happen. No, the Lord got special judgment set up for all you people, bro, that didn't want to repent, that didn't want to get right. The Lord gonna bring us certain fears and chaos and destruction like you never seen before, all right? And you can't say you wasn't warned. You can't say you didn't know. We in that time, all right?
Just go out and attack those people and steal their food. Okay, because the government won't give you free food or free SNAP benefits. Take those groceries, another girl says. Just go and take those groceries. Watch.
If you gotta take those groceries, go ahead and take them. If you gotta walk smooth out the door, just take them. I don't care. I support you. I support that message, and I'm about my business.
Yeah, so just go ahead and do it. It's no big deal.
And you see who the culprit is. It's Eve. But they've been saying this whole time how they was independent, how they don't need a man. No, the government was your man. And now he's leaving you, okay? Okay, and them badass kids that are wars of the state. He leaving you, okay? Esau was the first deadbeat. He used to pop the slaves and leave his own seed in the fields, okay, working in the fields. He's the first deadbeat. But, oh, the Jake man was so bad and this, that, the third. You about to find out, man. See, these women don't understand that the Israelite man is your saviors. Okay, that's your Lord. Sarah obeyed Abraham, calling him Lord. She understood that she needed a man. She understood that her man was her Lord. The Lord, there's an order in the heavens, man. There's the Most High, YAHAWASHI, man, woman, children. It's not woman, man, children, or woman, children, man, like how America has taught you. And now reality is about to set in, and you ain't got no man. So they talking about they finna go in there and start stealing. And Esau gonna be waiting for your ass so he can tackle you in the parking lot, beat your wig off, and throw you in the paddy wagon. All right? Now your kids really finna go hungry. And this is why they've done set up all these camps too. You know? They expect the crime to increase so they can start locking you up.
Women also showing online already in preparation for the food stamps. They've already been stealing and going to different grocery stores with trash bags. Just grab, and she says, just use a purse, use a trash bag, go to the store and just grab whatever food you can. She's loaded up on lobster and steaks, which is hilarious because most people who use food stamps don't buy lobster or steak. They buy cheese balls and cheese puffs and processed food. But anyway, she has a whole bag full of groceries that she stole from the store, and she's encouraging other people to do it.
Hell, they talking about no food stamps. Y'all can take y'all purses if y'all want to. Y'all can take y'all purses if y'all want to. I ain't taking no purse. Yeah, steak. What you mean, steak? Now we about to eat good over here, baby. I ain't stopping shit.
All right.
In that video, she showed her face. You posted it on her account. It's not hard for them. This is why they got Palantir set up and all these different, AI programs where they're gonna be able to track you down, bro. They got facial recognition cameras in these stores now. You go in the store stealing, they ain't gotta chase you down. They just gonna go show up at your house in 2 hours with the handcuffs, okay? And now your kid's gonna really be hungry. This is Job chapter 39, and this is all through the Spirit. I'm just going as I play this. But Job chapter 39, verse 13, gavest thou the goodly wings unto the peacocks, or wings and feathers unto the ostrich, which a bird who has wings, they use it to what? Fly. But a peacock and the ostrich does not fly. Okay? So the Lord gave these animals wings and they can't fly. All right? Which this is symbolic for our women today. It's comparing our women to animals, all right? Which that's how they acting in them stores, man. And they look like ostriches with the long ass eyelashes, the big ass plastic butt, the long stretched out neck, okay? The little ponytails. You look like an ostrich, all right? It says, which leaveth her eggs in the earth and warmeth them in the dust. This is what you're gonna do when you go stealing out these stores, leaving your kids home and you're not coming back home. All right? Or leaving your kids in the car and you ain't gonna be able to go back into that car. They're gonna see you getting, hog-tied and carried away, if not blown away in the streets. Well, didn't that guy Trump say, when the looting starts, the shooting starts? You can't remember what these devils saying because everything they say, they mean that shit. When the looting starts, the shooting starts. All right? And this is why they want you to go out there and loot. They're gonna kill 2 birds with 1 stone. Now, if you're dead, they really don't gotta feed you. It says, and forgetteth that the foot may crush them, or that the wild beasts may break them, because you ain't ate in what, 4 days, you gonna go out there and steal? Absolutely not. All right, that's not wise, because now your kids gonna have to go hungry for weeks, if not months, while you somewhere locked up. All right. It says, she is hardened against her young ones, as though they were not hers. Her labor is in vain without fear, because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. And this is why you're supposed to have a man for guidance. Okay? The Lord set up because he created you woman to serve the man, but you've been serving yourself. So now you have no guidance, no understanding, and you think you're going to be able to walk into a store and run out with a cart of groceries and nothing's going to happen to you? The Lord did not impart understanding unto these women, man. They have no wisdom. They ain't got no sense. All right? The only women that do have sense is the ones that came into this truth and submitted to the will of Yahawah BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. And if you out there too, my advice is to cleave unto one of these men. You watching all these videos, cleave unto one of these men, okay? And pray he really a man of the Lord. But cleave, man. There's no reason why an Israelite man should be washing his own clothes, cleaning his own house, cooking his own food. Okay, you were created to serve the man, but you've been serving yourselves. Okay, the time you're coming into, you're going to realize how important it is to have a man. Okay? It says, bringing it back, because the Most High hath deprived her of wisdom, neither hath he imparted to her understanding. And these women, they got no understanding. They got no sense. They finna go in there and make matters worse for themselves. All right? Let's play some more.
12% of Americans are on SNAP program or on food stamps. Overwhelmingly, white Americans are on food stamps. The most people who use food stamps are white Americans.
That tracks because the highest group of poverty is white.
Right.
Yeah.
So it's interesting.
In your own kingdom. In your own kingdom. You poor in your own kingdom. That's why they mad. Look how they looking. They pissed off. Nigga, we ain't got no food either. Okay? They thinking like, why y'all coming for us? We ain't got no food either. But that in your own kingdom. This is your heaven. And you ain't got no food either. You want food stamps? Salakia.
Why and black men are now taking to Twitter and they're taking to TikTok and they're saying, it's very curious. Why are you not hearing from fit black men? Why are you not hearing from white people? Why are you hearing just from black women who are saying go out and steal and loot stores? Listen.
So the government is taking away EBT cards. And you know who's not complaining? Black men. I thought we were supposed to be broke. You know, especially fed black men, as one video girl said. I thought we were supposed to be broke. I don't even see white folks complaining since they're supposed to be more on welfare with their videos. I do see one group complaining.
Black women. Other black men are calling
Yeah,
out
because
this
Jake's speaking out about it too, because you women, you have paraded over your own men because of the benefits and the dainties that this devil gave you, the serpent gave you. And that was all by design, okay? So you can destroy your own houses. Okay, now that you don't have a house because you don't kick the man out so you can get Section 8 or whatever, guess what? A man gonna come in your house, but it's gonna be a man with a big gun with a bayonet at the end of it, and you know, some unzipped pants, man. Okay, to be quite frank. All right, you in the house with nothing but you and a bunch of children. The time is coming where it's gonna get very, very bad. Let me grab that too. Let's reread this verse. It says, Ecclesiasticus or Sirach chapter 14, verse 5. He that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? If he doing this to his own people, let me tell you something. If he doing this to his own people, imagine what he gonna do to you niggas. Imagine what he gonna do to you niggas. All right? We've been telling you what was coming down the pack. What was coming down the pike, man. Okay? It says, if he do good, he doeth it unwillingly. And at the last, he will declare his wickedness. You see? Let me bring that up, Salakia. Let's bring that back. It says, he that is evil to himself, to whom will he be good? To whom will he be good? So if he doing this to his own people, how much more you? He shall not take pleasure in his goods. There is none worse than he that envieth himself. And you got the small hats. They're divided against the other, these Joe Schmo Edomites, man. Which y'all both Edomites. They pointing the finger at the Christian Edomites versus the Jewish Edomites. And they're saying, no, you Esau. No, you Esau. No, you. Both y'all Esau. Okay? Both y'all going to slavery together. It says, and this is a recompense of his wickedness. So what's coming down the pike is a recompense for all your wickedness, man. All right, this is the judgment of Yahawah BAHASHAM Yahawashi. And this is why you see the fear and the anger on their face, because they realize that they have been you know, you've been duped, okay? You've been so busy worried about what Jake was doing instead of what your own you know, counterpart was doing. Now they're going to have you out here wrestling with Jake over, you know, the last, you know, bag of beans, you know? It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly. He wasn't giving you food stamps because he cared about you, because he wanted to feed you. All the food that they have in them stores is nothing but poisonous. Okay? That's why he said it. Oh, black people don't buy steaks and you know, they buy cheese puffs. Okay? They buy processed food. I did the video of the week about the Jake woman who was showing all the processed garbage she bought with her food stamps, man. Okay? Which they gave you those food stamps so you can go indulge in it. And it's all a big racket. They putting drugs in the food. They giving you the food stamps to go buy the food so you can stay sick, end up dying, okay? And also addicted to those, you know, chemicals in that food. All right? So now you're going to be dope sick when you go 3 or 4 hours without your Captain Crunch, okay? When you go 3 or 4 hours without your Cheetos and start lashing out, acting crazy, and get beat across the head and possibly unalived. And what Trump going to do out of order, he's going to bring order out of this chaos. That's when they're going to unleash the cavalry and they're going to start just gunning everybody down. Okay? That's why he said that this whole ICE thing was just the beginning. They're going to do a surge. Now, when you think about the word surge, take out the S and put ARP. Okay, it's gonna be a purge. All right. It says, and if he doeth good, he doeth it unwillingly, and at the last he would declare his wickedness. So they about to declare the wickedness, man. They about to show you how much he never cared about you. You thought you got niggas out here, niggas for Trump. You know, the Hispanics for Trump. I will vote for Donald Trump. I work with a bunch of Northern Kingdom, and every other day somebody gonna miss him, man. They talking about, oh yeah, they papers their papers. I guess there's a certain time for their papers, whatever. Oh yeah, where their papers, you know, it ran out of date, or you know, they're getting snatched up, okay, and sent back to their country. But you was down to vote for you. You was about voting for this man. You was all for this man, right? It says, the envious man hath a wicked eye. He turneth away his face and despiseth men. A covetous man's eye is not satisfied with his portion. He could never have enough. This is why his next move is to get you implanted. He already got you, caught up and begging for his assistance, but he want to go a step further and ultimately, tag you, like an animal, That's why they call you Goyim. All right, the small hats call these people, all of us, Goyim. All right, which means like cattle. It says, and the iniquity of the wicked drieth up his soul. A wicked eye envieth his bread, and a niggard, and he is a niggard at his table. Right, okay, stingy. He's not going to give you any money. This is what Trump was putting there for too, to make the 1% the 1%. And there's a power switch going on right now. They're getting rid of the middle middle class, man. There is going to be no more middle class. It ain't going to be no more you and your business and you 3 cars or 2 cars and, a nice house with a picket fence. That's a thing of the past, man. All right, they about to shut this bitch down, and everybody going to be, going through it. All right? But the difference is between us and you, the Lord going to be with us, man. All right? Everybody else, you're going to be in for a rude awakening.
And they are pointing out that these people are so upset about their food stamps. It's not about the food. They don't care about the food and the food stamps. They're stealing, or they're selling their food stamps. And they're making they're getting cash then to buy other things.
I'm gonna keep it a buck with y'all. Like, the real reason why a lot of people are upset about this whole food stamps, SNAP benefit thing, bro, is because they're selling their food stamps, bro. They're selling them. I'm telling you, they are selling their food stamps, bro. You know how many people in New York and other states right now are going to the corner store, the deli?
We all know about that, bro. If you've been a Jake long enough, you know Jake sell them food stamps, bro. All right, they sell them food stamps and they buy what they want to buy with them. All right, they ain't about feeding your kids. Matter of fact, the people that's bragging about stealing, they were stealing with the food stamps. Okay, niggas gonna be niggas, and 2/3 are gonna be 2/3.
They're selling their food stamps, bro. They're selling, that's why they're getting like $4,000, $3,000 in food stamps, and they're selling it for cash. They'll get $4,000 in food stamps, and they'll just take like $1,000 in cash.
Yeah. One woman who works at the liquor store made this point. This woman gets it. She agrees with him. She knows these people are selling their food stamps to get cash, and they come in and they buy alcohol with it. She works at a liquor store. She says it every day, and she says life is about to start lifing for some people. Watch.
You know how many people I've seen sell food stamps to get their hair done, nails done, their toes done, buy an outfit to go to the club, drugs? A lot. If I've seen it, other people seen it. You know what? That's why people don't give 2 fucks. I've seen people, women.
Look at this. I just got a notification. SNAP food benefits to be paid out. They keep talking about how it's gonna be paid out. It ain't got paid out yet. And then they said it's gonna give you a small amount. So they're not gonna give you the full amount. The hundreds of dollars of you getting food stamps is coming to an end. They might give you $25 on your card and say, well, we gave you something. We gave you something. Okay? And that's when niggas gonna really start lashing out and going crazy. Look at this, man. That's all right, man. That's Satan, though. I gotta figure that's out. Change, break, reminder. Salakia, bear with me. crazy. My other phone just cut off because of this whole break reminder thing, which is Esau being a devil. He got a break reminder now. Like, I don't know what that's about, but I got to look into it. Whatever.
He ain't got the food stamp. Now, the food stamp is for her kids. The man has the food stamp card and he in the grocery store buying shit that he want. People see that shit. You know what? They don't give two fucks. You know, some kids go to school and get breakfast and lunch, no dinner, because mama done sold the food stamps for shit that she wanted.
Yeah, going to the club, getting her hair done, everything else. And she says life is going to start, these people are going to start experiencing life for the first time. So what's really going on here? Does this benefit Democrats? Are deep state forces here want a revolution? Does it benefit Donald Trump? Does it benefit us to be in a bit of a civil war when these food stamps run out? That's what they want, to foment this discontent. Mike Adams is the founder of Brighton.ai. I call him the Health Ranger. That's what he calls himself on X. Love this guy because that's his screen name on X. He's the founder of naturalnews.com. So,
on a vacation rental, if it's not listen.
Yeah, so, you know, that's pretty much, let me see, we're ready to close out. But, you know, they talking about, it ain't coming back, man. All right? And if it do come back, it's not going to be the same. And it's going to cause, you know, people to, which really this should be a wake-up sign to stop depending upon this man. You know? You can't keep waiting, keep letting him, you know, jerk you around like this and thinking it's going to be okay. Listen, man. If this ain't a time to repent, I don't know when it is, man. All right.
This battle, you've been covering it on your show, seems to be unfolding where we've got about 2 days left before we're going to see something happen. I don't know what. I don't know if there's going to be massive civil unrest, some sort of a civil war, people freaking out, robbing people, looting stores, trying to get groceries because the food stamps program under the government shutdown shuts down on November 1st, the SNAP program. Before we get into like the politics of it all, Mike, I thought this program was supposed to, it was initially starting to really help people.
All right, whatever they got to talk about. But let's grab this real quick. It says, this is Luke chapter 11 and verse 17. He knew their thoughts, so he said, any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. And this kingdom is divided by civil war, okay? And what that means, it is doomed. That's why he's talking about it's going to be a civil war. It's going to be a civil war. Yeah, it's going to be a civil war. This country is doomed. It's over with. It's through. The Lord is through with this place. Babylon was a golden cup in the Lord's hand to fulfill prophecy, to fulfill his will. And now he's done with it. Now it's time to end off these last prophecies. And one of the last prophecies is America being destroyed with thermonuclear fire. Okay, that's all according to the will of YAHAWASHI. So no matter what you do, how much you pray to Jesus, it's going to happen. This is the will of the Lord. Any kingdom divided by civil war is doomed. A family splintered by feuding will fall apart. And this is why this country has a two-party system, the Republicans and the Democrats. It's already split, okay? Which it's not even, you know, two separate parties. It's two wings on the same bird. But Esau, he controls you with division. As they say, divide and conquer. This is how he conquers you through division. So he's divided this country, and now he's going to put you in a predicament where you're going to starve and be hungry. All right? That's the time that we coming into, man. I don't really care what this guy got to say.
I don't understand the machinations of this.
Well, the way I see it, both parties benefit in different ways. And by the way, I always have time to join your show. It's just an honor to be here. But to answer your question, Democrats benefit because they want a mass uprising that is very emotional, that seems urgent, people screaming that they're starving, and they have to, in their minds, defeat Trump in order to be able to eat again. That's how it's going to be portrayed. The Republicans, or the Trump administration, I believe, can, in essence, use this emergency to further station federal troops to do things like protect grocery stores, which some of them may be looted or burned. And this, I think, is a medium-term strategy to position federal troops in time for the midterm elections in order to help prevent massive Democrat cheating in the midterms. Because if they can be prevented from cheating, then they cannot win in elections, period. You know, we know they cheated in 2020. We know they cheat in all the midterms. But
it's talking about cheated. You've been getting cheated every election here, bro. What? It's not real. These people don't know what's going on. Okay? They have no idea what's coming. Let's break this real quick. It says, 2nd Esdras 15, verse 14, woe to the world and them that dwell therein, For the sword and their destruction draweth nigh, and one people shall stand up and fight against another. This is why you got Republicans and Democrats. They want you to fight against each other. They want you to go out there and, kill each other over the last, food in the stores. All right, which really, when all this food runs out, and it will, that's when they're gonna, come through and, start, this is when they're gonna come through and start, rounding people up, because they're gonna be fighting and war in the streets, blood in the streets. All right, it says, and swords in their hands, which is gonna be weapons, guns. One thing about these Americans, they all got guns. All right, even the ones who ain't supposed to have guns, they got guns. So it's gonna be gunshots going off. You're gonna hear, gunshots going off in these stores, at these food banks. It's gonna be like a real life purge. Remember me watching the Purge movies? All you heard was gunshots throughout the whole movie. That's how it's gonna be. Okay, firefights. It's gonna be like that, man. All right, and people not gonna know what to do. They're gonna be running scared, confused, and ultimately just gonna end up just being destroyed. All right, death and destruction is coming. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another. That's why the woman said she was going to eat the crackers with the cheese. They're going to invade your houses. I got to grab another one before I forget. Let's grab that too. Wives ravished. Okay? Because the food is going to be the least of your worries, man. Hey, the time we coming into, the food is going to be the least of your worries. All right? Believe me when I tell you. It says, for there shall be sedition among men, and invading one another, they shall not regard their kings nor princes, and the course of their action shall stand in their power. Meaning whatever they feel like they have the power to do, they're going to do it. If they want to kill you right there and take your food, they're going to do that, man. A man shall desire to go into a city and shall not be able. This is why they want to bring in the civil unrest and shut the city down. This is why you go to the airport and you missing your flight because the TSA ain't go to job because they ain't getting paid because of the government shutdown. It's a domino effect. It all coincides together. You ain't gonna be able to go into this city and that city and move around freely as you've been moving. They're doing this on purpose, but they got private jets. The rich, the elites, they got private jets, man. They fly. They still flying about however they want to fly, go whenever they want to go. It's just you can't. They got people camping out in these airports, and people still going to the airport. Like, sit down somewhere. And especially during this holiday season, you come into these so-called holidays, bro. People gonna be trying to travel and go see your family, this and the third. You gonna get stranded. All right. It says, for because of their pride, the city shall be troubled, the houses shall be destroyed, and men shall be afraid. And man shall have no pity upon his neighbor, but shall destroy their houses with the sword and spoil their goods because of lack of bread and for great tribulation. So it's going to be bad, man. It's going to be a lack of bread and great tribulation out here. Okay? Houses getting spoiled. Doors getting kicked in. All right? We ain't seen nothing yet. Let's go ahead and grab this right here. Let's bring this out. And I'm going to see what's on the comment board. The water for all the precepts, Akim. This is Isaiah chapter 13. Yep, this is spirit. I wanted to grab this, man. Isaiah chapter 13, verse 11. It says, and I will punish the world for their evil and the wicked for their iniquity. The Lord is about to punish you for all your evil and all your iniquity. All right? This is why you about to be hungry. This is why you're hungry now. This is why you afraid. This is why you are angry and upset. Because everybody knows something is coming. Okay? Every day we wake up, it's getting closer and closer to that day. Every day is something new. And I will cause the arrogancy of the proud to cease, and I will lay low the haughtiness of the terrible. I will make a man more precious than fine gold, which is the Israelite men. Okay, this is why these women, they starting to get humbled. They starting to come around now. Hey, big head. You getting them big head texts from a bitch that had no respect, bucked up and thought she knew what was better. Now you getting a hey big head text. Okay, the time we coming into, the Lord is about to humble the hell out of these women and a lot of these men too. All right, because they about to get drafted off into war, go over there and die. Okay. It says, even a man in a golden wedge of Ophir. It says, therefore I will shake the heavens, and the earth shall be removed out of her place in the wrath of the Lord YAHWAH of hosts, and in the days of his fierce anger. It shall be as a chased roe, and as a sheep that no man taketh up. They shall every man turn to his own people, and flee every one into his own land. This is gonna be these nations going back into their own people. Everybody gonna stick with their own kind, man. Anybody who came over here to make money, they're going back to their own country. Okay? And this is the spirit, because I had it in my mind to bring this scripture precept out when I first started this lesson an hour ago now. But as you get in the spirit, scripture coming out and it slipped me. So then the spirit told me to grab this last precept, and which is not this, but it's another precept that's going to come after this. And this scripture was in there because the Lord wanted this to come out. These nations are going to leave you. They're going to flee, okay? And if you got a Jake woman with an Edomite, he going to go to his own people and leave you out here stranded, okay? It says, and it shall be as a chased roe. I'm going to read this in NLT as well. And as a sheep that no man taketh up, they shall every man turn to his own people. Everybody going to turn to their own people. Okay, this is why we told you to come back to YAHWASHI, because everybody gonna go to their own people. All right, and you trying to fit in with all these heathens and could never fit in. Now they about to turn on you. It says, and flee everyone into his own land. They're gonna flee and leave people here to die. Leave you here to die. It says, everyone that is found shall be thrust through. What does it mean to be thrust through? It's gonna be shit going through your body, whether it be a bullet, okay, a knife, a machete, a screwdriver, okay, a hammer. Think about a hammer. A hammer is, everybody got a hammer in their house. That's gonna be a weapon in that day. Somebody come across your head with the back of a hammer. Everyone that shall be found shall be thrust through, meaning if you join with this devil, you're going to die with this devil, man. You got some proud to be American-ass niggas out here, bro. This is our country. You going to melt with this country. And everyone that is joined unto them shall fall by the sword. You're going to die. Okay? Trying to cleave unto this place. You got niggas thinking we can still build here in America. America is a doomed country. This land is doomed. Okay? It's cursed. The Lord is about to burn. America is going to be the greatest, biggest, burnt sacrifice the world has ever seen. But you got niggas that they're still thinking about building here. What is there to build here? Okay? We getting ready to get the hell up out of here. It's like if you on a ship and it's sinking, and you still trying to find a cabin to sleep or place your stuff. What are you doing? It's over. Which that guy Corey Holcomb, whatever his name is, he did a video. I did a video on it too about how the time of shining and flexing is coming to an end. All right, people out here been living in luxury with all your your gold and your jewelry and this, that, and the third. That's coming to an end. All right, the time of jet setting and going on vacations, that's coming to an end. The Lord's about to shut this place down. I remember a story I think somebody told me, man. I forgot who exactly told me, but it was about a guy who went to one of these poor countries. I believe one of these islands or whatever. And they was on a bus, and he was from America, but they was on a bus. I'm just roughly paraphrasing from what I remember of this story, but he was on a bus. He had a Rolex on, all right, and he had his arm outside the window in a poor country, okay, with a Rolex on his arm, just too fucking comfortable. And they said somebody came by on a bike and chopped his arm off with a machete and took the Rolex. This is the time we're coming into, man. People gonna be willing to kill you for what you got, okay? I remember during the pandemic, I did a video about a guy who was standing outside a pizza shop when the people was freaking out because of the day. They thought when the C9 COVID hit, they thought that was the end of the world. So it was a guy that was sitting outside a pizza shop, and when the old lady came out of the pizza shop with her pizzas, he clocked her across the head with some type of pole or something, and ran off with the pizzas. This is the time you're coming into, man. You come out of the grocery store, somebody outside already waiting for you. It might be somewhere in the parking lot, and when you pulling out, they falling behind you, keeping a good distance, follow you all the way home. Okay.
Things happen here.
They follow you all the way home. You get in the house, and as you unload in the groceries, they knocking on the door, or kicking down the door. All right. Troubling and horrific times are coming, but you ain't gonna be able to say that you ain't know, man. All right. This is why the Lord got us doing this, man. Okay. We are the mouthpiece of Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI, telling you what's coming before it comes. So when it comes, you can't say, I ain't know. Nobody, Lord, nobody told me. Nobody warned me. What was your prophets? Oh, they was out there. Videos, multiple videos getting dropped a day. Multiple videos are getting dropped a day. It says, Khan, the mirth has severely quieted. Yeah. Oh, yeah, you don't hear people partying and having a good time no more. These clubs are dead. All right? These bars are dead. Everybody broke. So we in that time, man. It's a beautiful time to be alive and serving Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. Let's read some more. Let's close this out. It says, their children also shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Yeah. You see, when there's no more food, people going to start eating other people. That's why that lady said we're going to eat them. A lot of them niggas ain't playing, bro. When them niggas hungry, they going to eat their own children. How much more your children? Butchering them up like chicken. You know, like a turkey or a hen, butchering them up and eating them. This is what it's going to come down to. You got niggas that's going to be seasoning and flouring human flesh like fried chicken, okay? It says, their children shall be dashed to pieces before their eyes. Their houses shall be spoiled, which I went into this word spoiled and added my line, and it means ripped violently of clothes. You know, if you spoil a woman, you ripped her violently of clothes, meaning, you know, you can read between the lines. But then it says, and their wives ravished. Okay, so they're not going to come in here and take your food, bro. That's food going to be the least of your worries. All right? You got daughters. You got a wife. Hell, you got a son. They told you that in the movie, the Road. You know, she said they're going to kill you, grape me and your son, and eat us, or some shit like that, she said. And then she left it. She went off into the woods. Go watch that movie, the Road, man. All right? In NLT, it says, everyone, verse 14, everyone will run about like a hunted gazelle. People gonna be running with their chickens with their heads cut off. Okay? They're gonna be around here going crazy. Losing their minds. Okay? And we're gonna be the only ones with a sound mind, you know, with quiet thoughts. Your mind, you know, it's gonna be such a power to just have a calm mind in the time of chaos. You know, to have a calm spirit. To not be moved in a time of complete chaos. People are going to look at you and they're going to find comfort in just being around you because you're not tripping. We know we knew this was coming. Okay? It says, like sheep without a shepherd, they will try to find their own people and flee to their own land. Right? They're going to team up. Okay, with each other. This is what happens when you go to prison. When you go to prison, the so-called blacks stick with the blacks, the so-called Hispanics stick with the Hispanics, and the so-called white people stick with the white people. Everybody gravitates to their own kind, okay? That's just the way it is. That's human nature. You know, Jake, you know that if you ever go into a building or somewhere and it's only you and one other Jake in there, y'all make that eye contact, you know, not a nod of the head, y'all acknowledge each other. Because you know if they get to lynching, we got to work together, okay? We all we got. Well, these nations feel like that too. So everybody gonna go to their own people. They gonna work together and they gonna leave you niggas out. And we gonna leave you out because you ain't come to Yahweh BAHASHAM YAHAWASHI. It says, anyone who is captured will be cut down, run through with a sword, run through, shot up, killed. Remember when they, in the movie The Civil War, watch the movie Civil War. You had them chinks. You had the Chinese dude. That shit was so fucking funny. Because it's so real. We had a Chinese dude. he said, what kind of American are you? You know? Where you? He was asking him, where are you from? You know? You know how Jake do that shit in the hood too. But he was asking, what kind of American are you? What country do you come from? What country do you come from? And when the Chinese dude said, I think Olivia said Hong Kong, he said, oh, China. Boom! And he shot him right there. It wasn't no negotiating, no talking, it was nothing. He's dead. Not even 2 seconds later, they throwing him into a ditch. So they're gonna ask, what kind of American are you? Let's read that again. I'm trying to make it as vivid and clear as possible. Okay, we're painting a picture. The vision is becoming clearer and clearer. We trying to help you see it. So when it comes, you can't say you ain't know. That's what we did our job. It says, anyone who is captured will be cut down. And you get caught up in that day, and the Lord ain't with you, you're going to be cut down. Run through with a sword. Shot down. Okay? Shot up. Riddled with bullets. This is the time we're coming into. This is why these Edomites, they always sit in a gun range. They always stacking up guns, buying a new gun every other month. House full of guns because they want to use them. They know they're going to have to use them. Their little children will be dashed to death before their eyes. Their homes will be sacked. And their wives will be raped. So it says their houses will be sacked. Yeah, when somebody come in your house with a sack, what the lady said, a garbage bag, and they throwing all your food into the garbage bag, that's what time you're coming into, man. All right? And your wife shall be raped, man. So, hey, repent, for the kingdom of heaven is at hand. Seek YAHAWAH, shall he may be found. The time is about to get very, very bad, and a lot of people are about to lose their lives, man. Okay? Shalom to everybody on the comment word that tuned in and drop precepts, the water. May YAHAWAH Shai bring a thumb to you and your families. Okay? Bless you and your families, man, because the time we're coming into, we're going to need the Lord. All right? We're going to need the Lord. It says, this is the brother Ephraimite 144 on the comment board. Zechariah 13:8, King James Version. And it shall come to pass that in all the land, saith the Lord, 2 parts therein shall be cut off and die, and the 3rd part shall be left therein. 2/3. What it just said, if you get caught, you're going to be cut down, okay? You're going to be cut off, and you're going to die. You're going to get shot up, killed. Romans chapter 11, verse 7. Same brother, it says, what then? Israel have not obtained that which he seeketh for, but the election have obtained it, and the rest were blinded. So the elect was going to get it, okay? While the rest have been blinded, all right? So we coming into the time of great death, destruction, and judgment. And we ain't seen nothing yet. It's only going to get worse. Okay? So it says, Salakia, an age-old cowardly tactic, subdue the population when it is at its weakest due to hunger and being destitute. Yeah, that's what they want to do. She gonna say that in my next video. I'm gonna upload tonight. I might do 10 because I did this video kind of late. So I'm gonna premiere a video around like 10 o'clock. She gonna say the same thing. It's about to be the Hunger Games out here, bro. Okay, and people are very easily to control when they're hungry. Okay, or when when they ain't got no food. All right, food is a great, it's like your average nigga, right? You tell them to go to this event. What's the first thing they ask you? Is there gonna be food there? So imagine when niggas ain't ate in a couple of days and you tell them, hey, there's food over here. They're gonna go up there and they're gonna meet them with a microchip implant. If you want to eat, you gotta take this chip. And guess what? People gonna take it. You go look at. I'm gonna post a video tonight. It was a woman crying outside of a food bank, and other people was crying too. But that line Okay, these lines at these food banks are so. I gotta find a compilation of video or a video with compilations of these food lines, man. These food banks, they're literally around the block. People just waiting in line for hours. They put in 8 hours, a full shift at these food banks, man. Just waiting in line to get to the end of the line and say, "Oh, I'm sorry, we don't have any food." They turn you around. All right, that's how people gonna be waiting in line for this MOTB. All he needs is for you to be hungry and destitute, like the brother said, and he got you. All right, this is why we have hope in our faith in YAHAWASHI. He said, "My servant shall eat, but you will be hungry." All right, in famine, we're gonna be satisfied. So all you believers and you sincere Akim and Akwath, stick to the program. All right, stay in the spirit. All right, matter of fact, you should be on fire in the spirit right now, as everything's about to play out, how it's about to play out. The Lord is with us. All right, and we're gonna see some very, 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 very horrific, terrific, exciting. You can't. So many words. You can't even describe it in one word, man. But that's what we're about to see. Some very, very exciting times, to say the least, man. All right. With that being said, I'm gonna say Shalom, Kwame Sharala, about bar praise, us, edifying to the full elect. Double honors to our teachers, the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who taught us his truth and sincerity. Peace and salutations to the hopeful elect scattered abroad. Shalom to 144,000. Shalom.